Peace, peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Cheikh Anta Diop and the New Light on African History by Dr. John Henrik Clarke. Welcome, guys. This is the finale of this wonderful, brief book, concise book. Happy Saturday. I wish much love and prosperity to all of you. Thank you so much for your support through all the book readings. We have a long way to go, and I'm so honored to be able to enjoy this with you on this road of reading. So we pick up on page 25. We're in the center part, okay? Over a generation ago, African American historians such as Carter G. Woodson, W.E.B. Du Bois, Willis N. Huggins, J.A. Rogers, and Charles C. Seaford read the works of these radical writer historians and began to expand on their findings. This tradition continued and is reflected in the works of present-day Black historians such as John G. Jackson's Introduction to African Civilizations in 1970, Yosef Ben-Jakin's Black Man of the Nile, 1972, and Chancellor Williams' The Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race from 4,500 BCE to 2000 AD, 1971. Welcome, everyone. Peace, peace. Until the publication of James G. Spady's article, Nigritude, Benegritude, and the Diopian Philosophy of African History in a Current Bibliography on African Affairs, Volume 5, Number 1, January 1972. And the recent interview by Harun Kofi Wangara, published in Black World Magazine, February 1974. Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop was known to only a small group of Black writers and teachers in the United States. For over 7 years, his books were offered to American publishers with no show of interest. Now, 2 of his books will be published in the United States within 1 year. The Third World Press in Chicago is preparing to publish his book, The Cultural Unity of Negro Africa. All of his books were originally published by Presence Africaine, the Paris-based publication arm of the International Society of African Culture. Egyptology developed in concurrence with the development of the slave trade and the colonial system. It was during this period that Egypt was literally taken out of Africa. academically, and made an extension of Europe. In many ways, Egypt is the key to ancient African history. African history is out of kilter until ancient Egypt is looked upon as a distinct African nation. The Nile River played a major role in the relationship to Egypt to the nations in the Southeast Africa. During the early history of Africa, the Nile was a great cultural highway on which elements of civilization came into and out of inner Africa. Egypt's relationship with the people in the south was both good and bad, depending on the period and the dynasty in power. Welcome all these guys. This is the finale. Oh, sweet. Hunter, Southern Mississippi. Hi, is heart love. Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. Mississippi is a great place. Very ancient land. MISSISSIPPI. Welcome, guys. Thank you for reading with us. We're closing out this book right here. Here we go. Page 28. In his chapter called What Were the Egyptians? Dr. Diop explains the rise and fall of Egypt's golden age and the beginnings of the invasions from Western Asia that turned this nation's first age of greatness into a nightmare. This was the period of the Hyksos, or shepherd kings. During this time, 70 Jews, grouped in 12 patriarchal families, nomads without industry or culture, entered Egypt. These Jews left Egypt 400 years later, 600,000 strong. After acquiring from African people all of the elements of their future religion, tradition, and culture, including monotheism, whose ever the Jews were when they entered Africa, when they left 400 years later, they were ethnically, culturally, and religiously an African people. In this part of his book, Cheikh Anta Diop leaves no room for argument. In the chapter called Birth of the Negro, Myth, Dr. Diop shows how African people whose civilizations were old before Europe was born were systematically read out of the respectful commentary of human history. This examination is continued in the chapter called Modern Falsification of History. Here, Cheikh Anta Diop deals with how Western historians for the last 500 years wrote or rewrote history, glorifying the people of European extraction and distorted the history of the rest of the world. Thank you guys for your subscribes and likes. Highest heart love. Much honor. Thank you so much, man. Here we go, last page. Those who read this book seriously are in for a shock and rewarding experience in learning. This is a major work by a major black historian. At last, the renaissance of African historiography from an African point of view has begun, and none too soon. I will say again, the publication of Cheikh Anta Diop's book, The African Origin of Civilization, Myth, or reality is a cause for celebration. And that concludes Cheikh Anta Diop and the New Light on African History by the great master teacher, Dr. John Henrik Clarke. Thank you so much for reading with us. And this is the book that he said. This calls for celebration. And it is. And it truly is a beautiful reading. Thank you guys for being here with us. Highest Heart Love. We just completed Cheikh Anta Diop and the New Light on African History. And he finished it out by saying this book right here is a cause for celebration. And that book was by Dr. John Henrik Clarke, and this is by Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is where we learned about the similarities of where we come from and derive from. So look at this. Got the hair, which really matters, right? You can't get any of the hair type of fixtures without the curly Negro, African American, and African hair. See that? The tight curls. And they always displayed them. Look at this. This is a Senegalese princess. You see the hair? Isn't that amazing? Yep. The truth is the truth. Look at this. Egyptians fishing. Something I used to do, love doing with my uncle. Uncle Man, who's elevated, taught us how to fish and hunt. And this is a depiction of it, right? Egyptian heads in the Middle Kingdom, question mark. These have been called the heads of foreigners because they are too negroid. See, they would do stuff like this. This is what he's talking about in that what we were just reading. That was indigenous, regular people, and then, when they tried to categorize, they would take it out of the context of Egyptians and say, oh, these were foreigners. When that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. Peace. Oh, peace, Kenzie. Highest Heart Love. We just finished the book reading too. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. We're just going through what Dr. John Henrik Clarke said is a cause for celebration in this book right here. The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop. Look at this, Taharka. I have him in the back yard as well. This is a picture of Taharka. Awesome, right? And this is Pharaoh Thutmose the third, correct? Yes, the third. And who's also on the front of the book, of this book, see? Pharaoh Thutmose the third. And oh man, he was also a son of a Sudanese woman, founded the 18th dynasty. Look at this. Pharaoh Ramses the second. Look at this. This is so awesome. I love this picture because you get to see, look, you can only do that with a certain texture of hair. You see? And they would actually make the sculptures just like the person. Isn't that beautiful? I know, it's so powerful. You can only do that with our hair. That's why I was saying in the last reading, logic is very important, being objective. And that's why I like objective sports, right? Take, for instance, someone running, right? You can clearly see who the faster person is, right? It's objective, it's clear. And so, like, you look at, as a master fitness trainer, there's certain things that we look at and we know, no matter what, if this person has certain athletic ability, and that will be the muscle fibers. So you have type 1 muscle fibers, which are slow twitch muscle fibers, which are like long distance runners, right? And then you have type 2 muscle fibers, which are fast twitch muscle fibers, which are more seen in people that do sprinting, right? And we've seen in the history of the ages, Hitler thought that they were some kind of master race, and he got basically blown up into reality by Jesse Owens. It was like, you are not even close to the master race. And so this is a way you can tell, right? We are original people, because the long distance runners hold all the records are all Africans. Right? It doesn't fail. No one comes at the Kenyans or the Ethiopians and challenges them and wins in the long distance runs, right? And you can look at this with the sprints, with the new world over here in America. We're the fast twitch muscle fibers, and we're just not built like people in the old world anymore. That's because we're more of a hybrid. So the melanin is always there. Like, my mom and dad are both mixed. And look at me. I love this so much. Look, this is a handsome African Hamitic type. See? It doesn't fail over time. You always will see. So, thank you for reading with us. Highest heart, love, and honor. Have a wonderful Saturday. We'll be back with a new book soon to read. And highest heart, love, and honor. Love to all those that came before us, all those that we've lost. Highest heart, love. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Yeah. Much love to George Foreman, who is just elevated. One of the greatest ever, right? That is definitely one of the greatest boxers and just a great man. Highest heart, love. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll talk to y'all soon, okay? Thank you so much. Oh, Kinsey! Oh, highest heart, love. Peace. We're going to keep doing it, guys. I love y'all. I love you. I do. Y'all are awesome, man.